Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's map number 2 here, the first semi-final of the CSGO Asia Championships, and it's Virtus.pro versus Tyloo, and Virtus.pro really made some great adjustments to their game on that first map. So we'll have to figure out exactly how it goes here on Train with the map number 2. And actually, we're going to go live already really quickly here. Virtus.pro on the T side, Tyloo on the CT side, and there's some utility for Virtus.pro to set up and execute at least. Yeah,
that means we're going to get well, I guess a quick answer to the panel's question, which is how is Tyloo's CT side going to fare on this map? And it has to be improved from what we saw the first time around between these two teams if they want to have a shot at winning.
They lost 16-10 on this map, Tyloo that is. So if that happens again, they're not going to make it to the grand finals. Virtus.pro will instead, which honestly at the current form of Virtus.pro, that would be exciting. I must say they were looking great on Mirage. Obviously, panel did talk about a lot of the individual stuff that was going on. Pasha and Bialy especially. Mew had a lot of great rounds as well.
Definitely.
So we'll see how it all unfolds here. Going to be going live right now, rushing into the A yard. Everybody here from Virtus.pro. This is just a very powerful push. They haven't found anyone yet. Somebody getting the first point of contact, and Pasha will take him down. Had so many angles to look for. That looked a little bit weird. Mew essentially going to bite the concrete. Running in. Oh, stopping the bomb plant last second. That's a huge kill. And now he's looking for more headshots. They're all falling as AE takes a couple with him. But Bialy, he was counting on that bomb plant. It's a great position to be in behind the E-box if the bomb is down.
Yeah.
When it's not, so much.
It's kind of awful.
that was so well timed from Execurate.
Yeah. You saw somebody getting the unfortunate timing. So instead of being able to get the drop on one BP player, he gets caught up by 3.
Yeah.
And then Execurate luckily is able to, I guess, make up for that in that sense. So he gets the nice drop on the first player coming through the smoke in main and then finding the timing. That's actually a bit of a mess up from Virtus.pro side, though. Like, even though you can feel somewhat confident, at least, that you're getting the bomb plant down, Bialy was at a position in pot where you could at least make sure of it.
Yeah,
so,
he could have covered him.
Yeah, that's a bit of a misstep for Virtus.pro, but much in the ground for Tyloo.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, DD, don't stick around for that spray. You did some damage, it's fine. But if there's Deagle on the other side, that could just be the end.
Yeah. And we did see Tyloo actually lose a fair few rounds. I think it was 2 or 3 rounds versus not full buys from BP's end.
Yeah.
That turned the tides of things on Mirage. They definitely can't have that happen on Train. It's like CT side rounds on this map just feel so much more important. They're so much more weighted, really, than a CT side round on Mirage in that sense.
Yeah. And I mean, Tyloo almost had similar rounds where they sort of almost managed to win it with pistols, but they just fell short in the last couple of kills, so that was a big difference as well. Setting up for the classic wall, see if they can sneak somebody in. They had a really cool strategy last time, Virtus.pro, where they actually was a rifle round, but where they snuck Neo really close, and you know, normally you're waiting for a bomb plant like in this round, but they sort of faked that a little bit. Somebody going to come through, get a quick couple of kills, even with the bomb plant, which is all they wanted at Virtus.pro, so I suppose that's good news for them.
Actually finding more.
Neo finally goes down. It's ridiculous. How does he get anywhere near that close?
Like, I like the initial approach from Tyloo as well. You see somebody, obviously he goes aggressively to find one frag, then stop the bomb from going down, but as he realizes there's more people around, just goes for the safe option of taking out the players who's actually visible instead of just starting to fire pot shots through the smoke. Somehow, though, like they're able to find a bunch of other kills elsewhere. Like that should be a round where Tyloo survives with at least 3 players.
Yeah, that's again we come back to the CT side economy, which they weren't able to keep alive on Mirage.
This is a bit of a this might be a misbuy from Neo.
Wait,
he's bought up an AK. The rest of them have not bought into this round.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused as well. Ventet's going to be taking a kill on Pasha. Not really sure about this either. I'll see if it's going to play off or not. Really, really good on the first map as well. Had quite a lot of good individual rounds. He'll lose the AK right off the bat, and there's nobody else that has any armor, so...
Yeah. Just seems like an odd thing to do. It's a deep peek into Pop Tongue. Still gets out, not losing any HP, so lives to see another day. And they're going to do the double drop here. Somebody's going to hear it. Firing into a pretty easy job for somebody, and it's going to be nice to see if he can get off to a good start as well. He was having a rough time on Mirage for the better part of it. Did get better as we went on in the second half, and that's when Execurate and AE kind of just faded out. But if you can get somebody off to just being a constant nuisance, really, for VP to deal with, and we saw that what that did in their in their previous best of 3 yesterday. It's just very tough to deal with, like not knowing where you have him. Nip constantly having to change up how they wanted to play their defaults because somebody was just running with them inside smokes and whatnot. If that can happen to the VP as well, then
that's a good chance, right?
Yeah.
That's where Tyloo start to make some progress. Well, 3-0 in their favor. Neo won't have the AK this round as you have on the last round. Doesn't really matter, I suppose, when you open up like this. byali and Pasha cracking wide open the Ivy defense. That's going to make for a bit of a change here. 3 versus 5 now. Yeah, I mean, they have to do something to try and find a way back. And Extra thought maybe he could challenge the smoke, but they were ready for it. This is looking like a great round from VP.
It really is. Now the goal is to just get as many kills as possible. DD loses an opportunity to find Neo there. At least does damage. But right now you need multi-kills on the side of Tyloo. Actually, one thing I really want them to see them do actually going forward is continuing on with that double pop setup. It was working so well initially for them on train versus VP, and then they went away from it and started losing control.
Heads up play for Snacks. I mean, I'm glad that Snacks was looking, but there was one thing that could have made them not want to look so much, which is that as soon as DD got that engagement, he actually ran all the way down the ramp, sort of making noise like he was just charging away, and then he walked back up and went down Pop Dog. And if he could have got that kill on Snacks, it would have bought room for the other play out in the yard on the Tyloo side to maybe do something. So yeah, good. It's a good idea. Anyway, 3-1, and we'll see what they could do now. This is again where one thing is letting VP back in the game early. I'm worried about that CT economy. I think that's where Tyloo right now really having a hard time.
Yeah, Xcret needs to get into this right now pretty much, because otherwise he's not going to have an off for quite a long time. Yeah,
he really wasn't having that knockout performance that we saw earlier in the tournament. It wasn't bad, but you know.
But like in terms of like rounds you remember from an impact point of view, it probably would have been the round where they're forced to do pretty much CZs and everything. He kills Pasha and Connector, finds a follow-up on that. But it still doesn't equate to a round win.
Ooh. How does Pasha get this far in? Sneaking past the smoke, opening up. It's a good luck that Bentet turns around for that kill, even though he almost goes down. They can't allow Pasha to just walk in like that. byali waiting, see if he can get the timing. Bentet going to be crouching in, somehow wins that fight, but byali's taking out AE. And I think Bentet's just in so much trouble. He had to do something. DD going to pick up one big kill. Oh my god, the follow-up spray is so good. Reading the scenario well.
Oh, he has no idea where he is. He's making so much noise. That seemed very overzealous. Like he was, I have no idea what kind of information he had gotten to make him think that Neo was ever in Pop Dog. But that was, I think regardless of that, when you're in the 1v1 on a map like Train, there's so many nooks and crannies that you can hide in and you can play for time. There's still 1 minute left of the round, right?
Just gonna say no bomb pound, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can let Neo make the next move. Just tuck your way in the corner, don't be in the open, and you can work off of that. There's not that big of a rotation time towards inner if he ends up going there. Sure, you have to clear out a lot of spaces, but it does feel like the higher percentage play compared to what they ended up doing.
Yeah, so perhaps a bit unfortunate. See if they're going to Molotov out the guy in the corner. They did see that, just waiting instead, and this should be a clean enough and easy round. Neo finding all the fights. He's looking much sharper than we've seen for a while.
Yeah. Really loving his time in China.
I mean, I'm just repeating myself again, but looking at the Virtus.pro lineup, there's nothing in the... There's nothing on this where you say, oh, well, this is what they're really lacking, you know? Maybe the one thing you can always point to with this team is, like, it's unclear who the in-game leader is, like, you know, sort of Destiny. Yeah. But that's always been the case.
Yeah, exactly. That's been the case for 5 years, so that can't really be the excuse.
No, like, I'm all right with that in a sense. Pasha challenging. Could have been dangerous. The Molotov somehow gets completely wrapped under the train. I'm not even sure why.
Oh, look at this buy, though, from Tyloo. We're literally, 20 seconds into the round, they have 2 smokes, 1 AG, and a flash left.
If that smoke goes away behind Bentet as well, he's probably gone, isn't he?
Yep.
They're going to wrap him from 2 different angles. He's going to set up the smoke again just as the other one fades. Turning around. This is so unbelievably close. Bentet doesn't know it yet, but he's in a really bad position, and he's going to get taken down. The flashbang was all it needed, and now somebody sort of... He's following up, but they're going to walk in. byali's going to take this kill for absolute free.
Oh, are they sitting next to each other?
Yep, they're sitting right next to each other. Oh, no! It's going to be Bialy to react first. And man.
I'm really not liking the default CT setup from Tyloo's end. Again, double pop setup was working for you in the first match versus VP on train. Like, I don't understand why you've gone away from it at any point. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Pasha on scopes at the wrong time, but it's the information as to where Curate is, and Mihu's going to pounce on that. But yeah, and unless Tyloo can come up with the simple solution of doubling up on pop, then I don't really have too high hopes for their CT side. Makes me worried, especially when they opt to go for buys like that as well. You have no utility to work off of. You're not doing anything aggressive with the very few flashes you have. So what's the end game plan, really, for the Chinese team?
I wonder if there's a theoretical downside to playing the same series as they did last time, in the sense that now that they've lost Mirage, does that sort of tell them, oh, wait.
We shouldn't be in this scenario, like we might get screwed. Yeah.
You know, because they were always thinking, no, but if we just get to cash like last time, then we'll win. You know, that is fine.
Yeah.
Which is
like fair, honestly, considering how that like played out.
That's perfectly logical, right? But you set yourself. I mean, I'm not saying you should have done it. I'm just saying that could be like a mental trap in replaying the same series.
Yeah.
That if it doesn't go the way that you were expecting, that you like, they probably think, well, we won Mirage 16-8, so even if they're a little bit better at 16-12 or something, that's all fine, you know? But now when they lose it, they might be thinking, oh god, you know, well, Train was really bad for us last time, or at least it was 16-10. We might be in a deep hole, which it seems like they are. Virtus.pro winning 5 rounds in a row. Their economy looking fantastic at the moment. Double up now being picked up from Tyloo. The go-to.
The go-to, which hasn't really been that successful. I guess Train is the more untested map out of the 3 we got to see them on in terms of getting double ops, because they were just getting so battered on their CT side that they never really had the economy to get to it a lot of the time. But they need to have immediate impact with it. Otherwise, you're looking at VP closing in on 8-9 rounds extremely quickly. Tag through.
Pasha's just willing to take these fights anyway. I mean, it's a little bit mental. He's alone here in the team main, creeping on in. He's going to get the shot on somebody. Again, we talked about Pasha taking fights that most people just wouldn't, because it seems outrageous, but he's still going to be able to pick it up. And look at the space he's creating. He's keeping 3 people occupied on this side of the map alone. So even when he goes down, if the rest of VP pounce right now on the B-bomb side, there's only one person here. The backup is miles away. It might work out regardless, although DD will get a kill. Trying to fall back around the corner. Almost getting caught. The Mihu's off by just a couple of seconds there.
Oh, the instant re-aggression, though.
Yeah, they're not ready for it. This is really aggressive from DD. My god, what a play. No scope from Excurate.
But no scopes are on again.
That's good, but that's actually such a deep play from DD. Like, they obviously were not ready for it.
Oh, yeah.
In their minds, they were hunting him.
The logical play is for DD to fall back, wait for a rotation, right?
And they had a double push to track him, right? So they was, you know, this famous thing, isn't it? The hunter becomes the hunter. He's just, look, they're both looking for him to fall back towards CT spawn. What a play.
Game-saving really was. And that also means they're able to keep both of their ops alive. They only lose, I think it was somebody initially, right? Out in yard.
Yeah.
So that couldn't have gone better for them. Now double ops in the side of Virtus.pro. Probably going to stick around with the same kind of approach, really have one of the offers being active towards A main. Snacks maybe not to the same extent as Pasha, but yeah. Oh, the double setup here.
Orc fired. Are they going to guess that there's a guy close? They're going to most probably step. This is a disaster. Why? I'm not even sure what the plan would have been. Were they trying to just boost in the middle of it or something?
Yeah, that seemed like that was the idea, but I don't know why they'd want to boost when there's a molly down. AE still had a really... I think, no, Benton had a really good position still, or somebody.
He's going to get the kill anyway, Mihu. It's a sick read from Mihu, realizing that he could take that control. He probably should have won that fight because the Molotov was actually up, so
yeah,
that's still really well done. Now it's all on Excurate, and is he going to realize he hears somebody walking out here? The bomb is down on the other side, so even with the kill here, it's still almost impossible, and Bialy will take his face right off. And that's going to be 6-4. Man,
that is
the celebration was really short for Tyloo, wasn't it?
Yeah. They do have the benefit of the fact that they survived with 4 players in the 1 round they won. So even though they shouldn't buy now, they can still get a very decent buy coming into the next round. That's really what they have to hang their hat on here. Again, though, they didn't get too many CT rounds in the first matchup versus Virtus.pro as well, right? That was really the big downside to their game. Getting 5 rounds on the CT side, that was all they had to their name. They're already at 4, so I mean, trajectory-wise, it's looking better, but
if
it doesn't.
The pattern continues.
Yeah, but that's mainly off of the back that they won pistol this time.
I've got to say, Virtus.pro in general are looking improved.
Very poised.
We say it with you know, slight hesitation because our hearts have been broken so many times. You know, you're always worried. Some upgraded pistols, some armor on a couple of people. Bialy, not really going to be worried about any armor or anything. Just taking out AE immediately. Snacks, he's getting pushed. The grenade going to go too far, and they're going to try and run him down, but will not be successful. A good double kill for him with the P250. Bentet now probably going to get caught. Indeed he will. So, perfect round.
Yeah. VP looking really, really solid. Now we're going to have a pause. Tactical one probably coming in from Tyloo. Need to talk things over because their CT setups hasn't really been that good. We can see AE already actually opting in for the op. So that probably means we're going to see a double op setup, or maybe he's going to drop that over to Excurate. I'm kind of hoping that is the case.
Yeah.
The Excurate buys a Colt, AE holds on with a rifle. Maybe I'm perfectly fine seeing the kind of aggressive plays that they had initially towards Ivy, but I think they need to commit a little bit harder if they want to do so, because VP have shown both in this game and pretty much every time they play Train that they're willing to just throw out the utility around the close, I guess, server box, if you want to call it, to clear out anyone playing close. So you either need to be past that point or you need to stay further back. They're going to go with double ops, and it's glass cannon on Excurate, and
I mean,
I'm not loving it. They're so limited in utility because of this.
This is one big problem for sure. Glass cannon, you can be fine with. You're not going to catch that many grenades probably, but he's going to be going down.
Yeah,
it's a good boost there. How's that goal going to play out? There's a really aggressive push on the other side of the map, though. Look at Didi. He's all the way up in the hallways. Could maybe get the timing here. If he's quick, that can actually save this round, because otherwise...
He's already down off.
Yeah, going to pick up that one kill. Sticking around, Bentet picking up Snacks, who was otherwise getting out of position, so Didi couldn't get him, and the timing is perfect. Didi's being a hero once again. Now it's a 2-on-2, and Miho coming back in. There's a kill there, even shooting through the smoke. Bentet probably a little bit annoyed that they're just tagging him anyway up on the train, and he's going to go down to Miho. So, Tyloo, they start off well. They lose one, but then they get a double in return. But they just keep fighting. Like I said, they never manage to slow down the pace enough that they can, you know, communicate about what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, they get so they overfocus really on main there. Yeah. They already have DD and Pop, and Benton has already followed up with the secondary kill. So there's no real reason for Excurate to shift his focus towards main.
No.
There's no real reason, because especially the first man you lost, which is AE, he's the one holding control over Ivy. You know that Virtus.pro love having a lot of presence towards that area of the map, so you can't give it up. You can't be that naive about it. And again, VP just plowing through Tyloo's defense here on the CT side.
Yeah, they're having a very good time at the moment, and some of those rounds, I mean, where you get that kind of a flank in, get it all opened up, that should be enough. Like, you've got to win those. If you can't, it's a little bit rough.
Yeah, there's only there's a certain amount of things you can have, you can ask to go your way.
Yeah.
And Tyloo, in many instances actually get that for them, but they're not able to do anything with it. At that point, you don't really give them too much hope of doing anything in just default rounds. But I think they have to abandon the double up setup. They just absolutely have to. It's not doing anything for them. They don't get aggressive positioning. VP are just constantly able to just walk out of A main, terrorizing them.
Yep, they're having a great first half right now, and we're talking about things are looking maybe a little bit better for Tyloo in the sense that they're getting close to the rounds that they had the first time around, but it's not enough right now. 1-0 being picked up there from Excurate, and
please no second.
Please no second. Well, I mean,
it's going to happen. They're sticking to it at least. I mean, it's probably off of practice, right? This is what they're most comfortable with for AE as well. Like, he needs to in order to contribute as much as possible, he needs to find his comfort spot.
Yeah.
But he's not able to do anything so far.
No, the opening has been really good for the VP side, and generally the opening fights have just almost all gone their way. Sneaking past this Neo, got a bit of a smoke and flashing his way out. Is he going to be quick about it? No, just wants to buy a little bit of space and time, maybe. Taking some of the attention away from Ivy, where two of his players are coming through, although Bentet will take him down. That's a good start, and you can see the boost in there. They still win the fight against A. He was actually scoped up. That's almost a little bit too much to handle.
Yeah. Bentet, though, with the aggressive movement to A main, that's going to drop the bomb in his control as well. That could be the saving grace.
Somebody getting a kill. Mihu knows he has to do something, and he's going to be alone out in the yard here, so good kill for somebody, and I think Bentet just being so proactive in this round obviously gave it to them, so good job.
But again, the ops are just completely neutralized on the side of Tyloo, and you can't have that happen. Yeah, they managed to hold on to both of them. That's great for you, but what have they really given
They're
you
not doing much.
Yeah. Even AE, in that situation, yeah, the smoke's about to pop off, but you're set up in a position where you're expecting somebody to boost up, and you're correct in that assumption, so you have to win that duel. Like, that you're so favored. Like, there's going to be a moment of time where Posh is not going to be able to fire off because he's jumping up on his teammate, so...
Yeah, some of those fights just, they got to work out, you know. Moving into the 15th round, it's, I mean, Virtus.pro have done more than enough in this first half. They are already satisfied. And Neo going to be picking up Bentet. Will look to do a bit more. Again, Neo having even just as a single player out in this yard area, he's having such a big presence.
Oh yeah, 12 frags to his name. A lot of them have been openings as well.
Yeah. Now he's over the fight, taking down somebody. Again, he's occupying so much of the Tyloo force all of the time. They have to worry about sort of where he's at.
Yeah, and with the setups that they have, like right now, the ops are finally coming into play here a little bit for Xgrid. In so many instances, there's no trade potential for Tyloo. They just lose a player, and then well, that's it. Now we have to weaken our defense elsewhere.
Got picked off by Snacks as well. Jumping through, might as well try. I mean, that was going to be a 2-on-1 retake with the AWP. Almost never works out. 10-5, a mirror of the first time they played this map in the group stage. And Tyloo did not win it.
Yeah, that's a bad sign for Tyloo. Luckily, they are going over to their T side. That is normally their forte, but you're wondering where the key to this lock really that Virtus.pro has set on them is going to come from. Like, who's going to be the one to step up? There's not really been any sort of individual on Tyloo's end who's had a solid first half, who's been, I guess, carrying more of the weight than others.
No.
They're just equally been dominated by VP.
Yeah, the Polish team 6 rounds away from the grand finals here in Shanghai. That would certainly be something. On the other side of the bracket, it's either going to be Envy or Na'Vi. And you think Na'Vi probably are favored in that one, although you never really know at this point in the tournament. Snacks looking for an opening, trying to see if he can maybe catch somebody. Instead, the Glock is going to win out, so that's a really, really good way to get open Neo. He knows he's still in the corner. He's just waiting. There's no one there to come out somebody. Oh, no! A missed opportunity, and somebody's going to get revenge. We need that in slow motion. That was right next to his face, and somebody's loving life at the moment. Triple kill for him, and that's a way to win around, I suppose.
Yeah. A little bit of whiffs coming up from Virtus.pro. Much needed ones on the side of Tyloo, though.
Pasha doesn't even know where the bomb is. He's just sort of wondering. Well then,
in any case, where he would have gone, he would have ran into Tyloo players.
So that's Tyloo winning both the pistols on this map, which normally means you've got a great chance.
Yeah, normally that should equate into a map win. I think something ridiculous like 75% of the time when a team wins both pistols, they end up winning the map.
Yeah. I think Lure Pistols the one who did that statistic. That was like in 2014 or 15 or something. Like
yeah, I don't think it's changed, though, all that much.
I can't see any big reason why it would, but it would be fun to redo the statistics. Like, it is almost a statistic you could update like every 6 months to see if it changes.
Yeah.
And if you can, I mean, that doesn't say why, but you could obviously theorize about why that would be.
Now, though, Eco coming out. I feel like VP in these kind of Ecos rounds as well are absolutely terrifying to go up against because of that scout on Papa.
He's going to get neutralized this time. Snacks had a Zeus as well, so I was getting my hopes up.
He's been doing that a lot, actually, on in this tournament. Whenever he can get up to a close and personal position.
I'm not even sure why he fired it. Or he didn't have it anymore.
Just tired of looking at it.
Is Bialy trying to pick up the phone just now? Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's dialing in something. What was the number? Was it Lee? Is that what he typed in?
I don't know. Hopefully it wasn't somebody's number that he knows, because you know, obviously people are going to go back and look.
I'm going to go try.
Careful.
There you go. Oh, Virtus.pro just hoping to find someone straying off from the herd, really, on the side of Tyloo, but that's not happening.
Wouldn't it be the best thing if he like just you know, pretended to dial random numbers? But when someone looked it up, it was actually like the NSA head office or something. It's just
oh, that'd be pretty unreal. Direct line to the White House.
Yeah, exactly. The conspiracies. Yeah, so you know, I think for the first time maybe on this map, and I mean it's a little bit artificial in the sense that Virtus.pro haven't had rifles yet. Yeah. But like Tyloo starting maybe feel like, oh, you know,
we can do stuff.
Something's working a little bit. You know, it's looking a little bit better. The test is going to be coming up, obviously. And Snack with another Zeus investment.
I like it. It's only $100. You can do it as many rounds in a row as you like.
Yeah.
And it can potentially just net you an insta-kill.
Oh, yep. Taking a fight. There's about to be a couple more people joining that fight. He does get a kill on DD. I don't know how.
That's pretty impressive. It's doing immediate PT-50 bullets to the dome. But does mean that yard control is given up. And they don't have the weaponry to really fight long distance here.
Oh, hoping for that opening. Bialy long range. Hasn't got the bomb site, but slowing down a lot, which can be a bit scary here on the A yard, just because you could easily get flanked around. A lot of damage from Bialy, unable to get the kill, unfortunately. And Pasha trying to pick up the rifle, wants to get it out in time. He's going to win that fight against Execurate. Now, again, he does not have armor, but that one bullet from the AK-47, and without the bomb plant, this is a bit worrisome. He's just playing right now with somebody. He's going to go check the angle really quick, coming back in, and somebody's going to win it. But, I mean, again, so scary. It will be Tyloo at 8-10, though. So let's just see what Virtus.pro are going to do. Straight in the double up. Man. Yeah.
I mean,
no chill at all.
Yeah, no, to be fair, like Tyloo haven't been able to really find a good way of dealing with it, so why not? But I'm curious to see what, like, so many of the Tyloo players, they converge around the bomb train when there's no real need for it. You have a smoke for a connector. You can plant towards pop where you already have somebody posted up holding any sort of flank. You can play from 5 chain, you can play from E-box. You can still deal with anyone from Virtus.pro trying to push on you. And obviously you're going to be favored because you have an AK going up against CZs, Deagles, and USPs. Yeah. Instead, they close the gap, make the task that much more surmountable for Virtus.pro to actually deal with. Like they're going to be able to cope with close range. That's what they want.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely the better fight in that case. 19th round here, and double AWP.
Did somebody pick up the Zeus from Snacks? Did he buy that himself? Oh, he's not going to do anything with it.
No, doesn't want to mess around with it.
How terrifying wouldn't that be if you like fire off the Zeus and spawn and you actually hit a teammate?
Yeah, that would not be a good time, I think.
That would be a terrifying way to start the round. So default coming out from Tyloo.
The limited utility on Virtus.pro, but it's always interesting to see if teams can hang on to it. You know, if they risk not throwing the grenades too early, if they sort of wait a little bit.
Yeah, they've gone like similar approach to Tyloo in the sense that they're not playing aggressively, even with low utility. Had some players on the inner bomb side to start things off, but Neo's rotated out into yard now. But nobody's playing close up. But at least they're playing in positions where they can find trades for each other.
Bialy and DD might run into each other over on the other side. They're having a bit of a quiet standoff. No one knows. I think there was a Molotov thrown for that position as well. Early on, it looks like that on the ground. So they might think that Bialy sort of just fallen back if he ever was there. So let's see if they're going to
commence battle.
Yeah, they're still just waiting very patiently. 45 seconds now. In fact, all of Tyloo just waiting for a really long time.
AE just threw out like all of his nades really towards Ivy, which forced Snacks back, but he's not doing anything with it. Has shifted Neo's focus for the time being over towards Ivy.
Tyloo just wondering.
Yeah, like what's the idea here? What's the plan?
They seem to be hoping that VP are going to come look for them, but now it's down to 25 seconds. This is absolute madness. They might just run out of time here. 20 seconds as Miyu's going to take down DD. That's half the push gone already. They're just getting shut down. I think they were overly confident that VP would eventually check some of all the angles they were holding. But they weren't even like very deep angles. They were just like, VP would have had to have gone very aggressive to find them.
But what you see there as well is that they use so much time, they haven't grabbed enough map control. And the big difference here from what Tyloo did is that eventually Virtus.pro ended up posturing up in very aggressive positions with Mihu inside of pop. Like, that's how he gets the quick wraparound onto the players faking the inner bomb site. I mean, if that doesn't happen, if they've given up pop, if they still have the same passive setup that Tyloo has, then sure, that pick's going to work great. Like, you're going to get the rotation in from the people playing backline, Pasha from connector, and so on. And you're going to have a really good shot at just pinstring Neo to the point where it probably just gets one frag. You can smoke off connector and so on and actually get a pretty easy bomb plant. But because you've postured up so passively, you're not taking map control, and you've allowed VP to play aggressively, you're going to get punished for it.
Snacks getting paid about a jump. Neo still getting a triple. One of them with a Molotov as well. Now it's a 1-on-2 and X-Curate. He's got so much time, but it doesn't matter. Pasha will take him down. And Virtus.pro, they are so well on the way now. No money for the Chinese side. 12-8 in favor of the Polish team. They are looking like a grand finalist team right now.
Yeah, Neo once again with massive multi-kills. The second Tyloo enter yard. So and still, like even still, they do have setups to actually be able to trade for each other. So even if Neo were to go down in those kind of scenarios, VP are going to get something in return, and that's something Tyloo never managed to string together.
Yeah, definitely some gaps in the Tyloo defense in that sense, and was that way last time as well. So again, as we said, very hard to change many things in the middle of a tournament.
Yeah,
you can end up almost making things worse as well if you really try too much.
Yeah, you overcomplicate things, expecting too much really from your opponent. Snacks will go down. No, it's Mihu actually, and Snacks is busy fighting it out with Bentet. He's actually gotten into a pretty safe position here by Sandwich. He's going to follow that up with another kill onto somebody, so he's doing it all right now.
Jump down.
They go down.
Does a bit of a superhero dive coming in from DD with the C-set 75. It's the 2-on-2. This would be one of those great rounds if they could win it. Can't really shoot that on the ladder, so we're going to have to fall back a little bit. Flashbang is out. Hiding inside of the smoke is Neo. That's going to be one kill for Bialy, and what a turn. Coming in at the opposite angle almost. Bialy so quick. 13-8.
Yeah. VP just doing a really, really good job right now. And again, because of this, their money is going to be in a pretty decent spot, all things considered. Those ops are eating away at their money, but yeah, thing is, like we're not really seeing any sort of scenario where it seems likely for Tyloo to be able to break VP. VP are always going to get a secondary chance to actually be able to fight back.
Yeah, at this point, like something really has to change here with the Chinese side. They need to find the right rhythm. Oh, big trade there. Bentet for Mihu.
Mihu going aggressive on his own. And I mean, if you're Tyloo, this is the best opening you've had all game. Like, this is pretty much what you want. This is what you need. You're going to spread out the defense, but this is so aggressive from VP as well.
He's pushing in behind the smoke, scoped up with the AWP. I mean, this is mental, isn't it? Yeah. Neo pushed in behind him as well.
That's the cool part. The only thing that can backfire on VP here is the fact that the rotation times over towards the B bomb side are extremely long. So if they opt to go towards that inner bomb side, Bialy could be in for a rough time, but Tyloo, they want to move towards yard once more. And AE actually moving back from Ivy. He rarely puts pressure on it. He just throws out all of his utility and then runs back. Oh, well, barely escapes. Neo spotting him out.
Yeah, they're waiting up here. Like, again, we're looking at the clock. 35 seconds. Yeah. This is very scary. And Bialy's still alive up here. A lot can go horribly wrong.
Yeah, and Snacks is in CT spawn as well, so the rotation time is really, really short.
Yeah, they're making their way down. They haven't cleared the high ground, so as soon as they go for the bomb plant, if they plant in the default spot, that would be a nightmare. He's just waiting for it. There's the bomb down. 15 seconds. Bialy, just a one assassin kill there. All they needed. Now buying so much time off the clock here. 8 seconds. The bomb finally goes down. And Tyloo at least is a 3-on-3, but they're all trapped in right now. If any one of them goes down, this is going to crumble almost immediately. They have to win the first fight. I think that's the big part. Didi getting shot at the back. Neo creeping into the right time. And again, so many angles for them to hold when they're all down on the low ground. Execute and somebody 2 versus 3. A missed shot there. Somebody to follow it up, but it's not going to last. And they will lose the round 14-8. And that's just Bialy's position that helps them.
Yeah. The fact that he doesn't overcommit as well. Finds the bomb, super happy with that. Just does nothing else. It's just a constant worrying moment for Tyloo to deal with there. Also, I think a bit of miscommunication from Tyloo's end as well. They had somebody playing by the 3 train close up by lower. So Didi wasn't necessarily in too much of a risk to actually go for a wide peek towards connector. But they shift off, try to go towards the bomb train, and when Didi then pushes out wide, that's when Neo's made his way down. That's what sets everything off, and Tyloo just not finding any success here whatsoever.
And I mean, they are running out of sand in the hourglass right now.
Yeah,
14-8. There's really, really not much rope left. Mihu, that's aggressive. Bialy winning the fight against Didi, which means the focus is going to shift really far away from Mihu, who's on the other side of the map. But when a nuclear grenade landing on Bented and Executed, I mean, everything that could possibly go wrong is absolutely going wrong right now.
And Mihu's just continuing to push.
Yeah, because they already know that there was aggression on the other side, so probably almost nobody's going to be focused on this. And the result also is that they're stuck in main, just waiting forever. There's Mihu finally pouncing, and he's going to get the last kill too. 15-8. Series point for Virtus.pro. 1 round away from the grand finals here. They have looked like such an improved team. What a joy it is when Virtus.pro are actually playing good Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it really is. It just kind of feels right, doesn't it?
Yes.
It's how it's meant to be. They've definitely been deserving of this. Tyloo on their end, like, both their defaults on the T side and on the CT side have just been very lackluster, and it's kind of surprising to see no sort of adaptations being made from their first series against them, just because of the gigantic holes in so many other setups. Now they're finally going to pressure on towards Ivy for once, and he's going to get caught off guard by that. That's an opening.
Neo going to get one, but Didi will at least get the return. 3-on-3 now. Snack sneaking through the smoke, dropping the bomb, and he actually gets the flick. That's it. 16-8. So quick in that last 3v3. It lasted for like 3 seconds, and Virtus.pro are going to make it to the grand finals here with the CSGO Asia Championships. 2-0. Much different scenario than it was last time. And the Polish team looking much improved. This is going to get exciting. If they can keep this form up, they're going to play it late as a day. So if you're just joining us, you've got to stick around. The other semi-finals obviously going to be between Envy and Navi. It'll be Dan and James joining you for that one. And just overall, what an exciting game that was. Virtus.pro definitely looking better. Yeah,
they're just getting gradually better and better as the tournament prolongs, and that's obviously a great sign. Coming into a grand finals, Bialy, MVP of the series for me.
Yeah.
With no doubt. But, you know, that's not to say that the other guys just kind of fell off by any means or didn't show up in any sort of way. I think Neo had a great series as well. Some, especially on train, just finding so many openings on the T side, being a real like pillar of the CT defense as well.
Yeah.
So VP, yeah, just looking so much improved, and that's nice to see, especially with players like Neo and Bialy who haven't necessarily been in the greatest of form as of late.
No, it's been a little bit up and down, right? And it seems like whenever somebody's on the Virtus.pro playing well, somebody else isn't. So like this, they're sort of swapping out who's doing well. This time they were all just really pitching in. What a joy to watch. Paul, you guys must have been enjoying that. Virtus.pro looking better. What do you guys think?
Yes, thank you very much, Anders and Vendetta. You're right, Anders. It's always nice to see Virtus.pro playing well, no matter whether you're a fan or not. We need them in Counter-Strike, and we need them playing well. And they reached a grand final. It's at the expense of the hometown team. I can't imagine they're feeling particularly good right now, but they only have themselves to blame, I guess, gents, right? Didn't play well in the first game.
I feel like the Mirage was the culmination point of the series. Train was more than likely always going to go the way of VP. So you saw VP winning Mirage, you thought, all right, this is probably going to be a 2-0 now. And pretty much all the things that I was talking about, before this map started, and we were discussing as well, the CT side, Tyloo's just wasn't good enough, was it? They were not able to really stop the pushes VP were doing. They were not aggressive enough towards that T main, which was a very, very pivotal point of how VP likes to approach the T side. On the other hand, VP very ready for the Tyloo fast hits. We saw a bunch of times where VP was dealing a lot of damage with mollies. Neo getting, I think, 2 kills with a molly and another with an M4. Pretty much annihilating the whole attack on his own. So yeah, I mean, Tyloo can go back and look at this game and think, they really need to get that Mirage game, but just wasn't meant to be this time.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why people have these different map pools, because the slow style of Virtus.pro much more fit the T side of this map. Meanwhile, when you went to Tyloo's side, actually that super fast poggy rush style wasn't particularly effective, to be honest, especially when you're playing against players who, this is for a couple of years now been one of the comfort maps of Virtus.pro. They really like it. It's the one that they always go to, especially when they know the other team's not as good on train. They know that, right, we know how to play all the situations. Obviously, they don't have Taz anymore, but they used to have a lot of players actually who were like, their favorite spot was on this map, and so you could see again the comfort level. Unlike Mirage, this wasn't a one-man show. This was a right across the board. Pretty much everyone was having good games, and probably most crucial of all, the guy who's suffered the most the last few months for Virtus.pro is, of course, Neo. He's the person most people perceive to be on the chopping block, probably rightfully so. But this is one of the maps where you think back, we're only talking maybe just over a year. This was one of his best maps. I mean, he's so good at the outside sight. Yeah, I think generally this is kind of a flashback game for Virtus.pro, and you need them in this form if they're going to go into a final and potentially play Na'Vi, who obviously a hands-down favourite for the event. Yeah,
disappointment, obviously, for Tyloo. Having played so well yesterday in the quarterfinals, did we expect too much from them today?
I mean, if you look at this matchup and you look at the way that Mirage was going, because I felt like Tyloo was actually on a driver's seat for the most of that first half. They were just unable to close a lot of those rounds. Bialy was so good. VP was so good in a lot of the clutch situations. So, yeah, they're gutted, obviously, for the fact that they couldn't get Mirage. But then going into training, we knew that it was more than likely going to be VP's map. So I'm not sure if we expected too much of them. It was just a matter of VP elevating their level in those crucial moments, which you have when you have players who have championship-level experience. It will happen eventually, and this was the time that they managed to make it.
I think when you consider they were a team playing with a stand-in, this is not the real 5 players. The amount of potential they showed in spite of that was really impressive. And even in this series here, where they've lost 2-0, first map was a great map for Counter-Strike on their half of the equation. So I think all in all, they've given a very good showing of themselves over the whole tournament. You add that to some of the recent results, and I think it's a very exciting future coming up now. It's not the case anymore that, like, oh, maybe an Asian team could cause upsets. Now we're talking about this could be a top 10 team. This could be a team that we've seen in many playoff scenarios. So I thought there were many positives across the board, despite not making the final.
Some great stats on the board from Neo in particular. Very rounded, obviously, from Virtus.pro this time around. However, over the 2 games, Bialy was 52 for 23.
Not bad.
Tell us a bit of a story. Pasha also must have been.
Yeah, Pasha was up there 47 for 28, so he did well as well. So
and yeah, Neo playing outer bomb side, CT side for VP there, and just he was a big part of them stopping Tyloo's fast pushes, basically, which shows on the scoreboard. And good to see him also playing as well as he did. And kind of telling on that second half, towards the tail end of it, we saw Miku being in T spawn, basically having pushed in. It felt like they were reading everything Tyloo was doing at that point in time.
Okay, MVP for this one?
I mean, it's got to be Bialy, hasn't it? Because, again, even though in terms of, like, raw frags, yeah, Pasha was right up there with him. As we said in the first map, that was the definition of the impact frag. Bialy was winning so many different clutch scenarios. He always got the pivotal kill, even on the rounds he wouldn't win the clutch scenarios. You look just with the eye test, it was fabulous. He was hitting amazing headshots, really nice rifle control. He's actually a player you notice who doesn't mess around with the autopilot. He just knows it. He knows exactly what, his bread and butter is. He goes to it. He plays his game. He's actually someone I've always thought he's been a bit unfairly critiqued by the community, because obviously since Virtus.pro, the team was doing badly, people used to notice that, yes, he played a lot of other games, PUBG, etc. And so they would, in a silly fashion, conflate the idea. The team's doing badly. He plays other games. He must just be part of the reason why, because he's doing... So you have to understand, this guy can get away with it. It's when people like Taz in the past, Neo, at times Snacks, if I find out they're playing it and then they're doing badly in the game, that's when it's a problem for us, Okay. This guy's just apparently just a gamer who's just good at every game, so fair play. Don't be jealous.
It's
okay. The thing is, I've seen these guys playing before. I remember there was a very famous moment at Copenhagen Games many years ago. I think it was 2011, 2012, something. It was the year we did the show match for Counter-Strike.
Yes.
Global Offensive, but they were still playing 1.6.
It was them and SK Gaming, yes.
And they were playing Source at the same time, and the 2 teams. And then there was that kind of, SK Gaming was in it. At that event, I walked past. Virtus.pro were at the end row. I don't know if you remember, because they're all on LAN back then.
Yeah.
And they were on the end. Yeah, BYOC. I walked along the end row. I walked past, and you kind of walk. Wait. and I turned back around. 3 of them are playing League
League
of
of
Legends.
Legends, yeah.
They were playing it hardcore, and they were playing it more than they were playing Counter-Strike. And I just thought, that's so weird. Why would they do that right on the cusp of... Because we didn't know how big it was going to be.
And ironically, now they are but minions for S-Force.
You're terrible.
It's always leading somewhere, isn't it?
Terrible.
It's always
There's
leading
always
somewhere.
something at the end of it, isn't it? Natu, just final thoughts for Tyloo. Obviously, top 4, made progress. Duncan says, they could be on the verge of something better. Top 10 in the world.
Yeah, I mean, watching the Asian scene for the past, couple of years, having been to the Asian minors and stuff like that, it's always looked kind of flaky and streaky, and
especially when you remember what we used to have in 1.6, legit teams.
Exactly. If we look at the big picture, exactly, we used to have teams that were capable of winning actual tournaments and always being a threat. And then now gradually, finally, we do see Tyloo's side that's making progress. They're playing in a way that's viable round after round, not just something crazy you can do here and there in a game, but them actually have a pattern and do things correctly. It's great to see. And I have to second Duncan here. I feel like, this is a team that can, especially once they figure out this lineup issue with Mo maybe getting back to it eventually, they will be a team that will be able to challenge, the top 16 in the world easily and be a threat to make it in the playoffs and even deep runs at playoffs.
Okay, let's have a chat with the 2007 best player in the world. It's been a while since I've been able to say that. Neo, hello, sir. How you doing?
Hey, guys. All good.
Good to have you with us. I joke and jest, of course, but we love seeing you playing well. Do you feel like you're playing well with the team right now, having reached this final?
Yeah, of course. We've reached the final, means we played pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and in terms of Bialy in that series, what a masterclass that was.
Man, he's insane. The first map especially, he just wrecking everyone.
Yeah, just seemed like every clutch position he was in, he was like, I got this, guys, it's fine.
Yeah, that was easy. Didn't even have to call strats at some point.
You're just like, do you want me to die early and leave you my gun, or...?
Yeah, you guys do whatever you want.
Yeah, that was good. I've got Thorin, obviously, Natu here. I'm sure they've got questions for you.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, hi, what's up? No, I was just thinking, how did it feel from your guys' end, on Mirage especially? It felt to us, watching the game, that Tyloo was maybe on the driver's seat, especially in the first half, even though you won it. It came down to a lot of the clutches that you guys managed to take off. How did it feel from your side?
I think we took the lesson after the last game. We didn't really try to adapt to their game. Like we did last time. I think we lost because of that, because we didn't really play what we are good at. I don't think it was that bad. We had an advantage at the start, so I guess it felt pretty confident.
If you look at the Tyloo team when they're playing on the terrorist side, so we're used to this normal meta of how you play, trading style, a lot of slow teams at the moment who just drain the whole clock down, all the utility.
Guys, could you repeat? I think my headset.
So
died.
obviously, when you see Tyloo's terrorist side, most of the top teams in Counter-Strike play a very slow style at the moment. You drain all the utility out of the opponents. You try and just trade frag. They seem to have this old school style. They just come in. They're super fast paced.
Yeah.
But it's working, right? So is it unusual to play against?
Yeah, of course. When we watched their games before now and before the previous game, I think that's what you see how they play. They don't execute strats in a way regular teams do. They just flash and try to peek and then throw other smokes and other nades. So yeah, they play pretty different. And it's very difficult at some point to play against, but once you learn that, you can counter that.
Okay. I want to ask you one final question. It's more a historical question, Neo. A lot of people have been talking for what seems like a long time now, at least the last 2 years, about, are Virtus.pro ever going to change? Are they going to win majors again? Are they going to be back? Are they going to kick Neo? How do you cope with all that stuff and stay as humble and as good as you are?
Man, I think it's the problem with the community right now. Back in 1.6 days, it was like people were just watching and enjoying the game. Right now, it's a lot of hate and people just focus. Instead of Team A did good, they say Team B did so bad and you gotta kick this guy and that guy. So I think, well, I know I haven't been performing myself that well recently, but it's a team game. So if the team is not having good results, obviously one or second player is not gonna have like great stats. So once the team starts working well, I think it's getting better.
Okay, I'm going to let you go and enjoy your semi-final victory and look forward to the grand final a little bit later. I know you guys want to get some rest, but
Sure.
Thank you so much for being you, Neo, as well, and always being the calm head.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Neo there from Virtus.pro, who have won and marked their way through to a grand final. It's interesting hearing him say that, isn't it? Because, you know,
Sure.
how does he stay so calm about it? And he wasn't interested. It was more about people just need to stop talking about how bad
Sure.
stuff is and how good stuff is. That's your fault.
Definitely not my fault entirely. I just benefit from it, okay? That's but the chaos that I come around. I didn't create the chaos ball. I was merely molded it born by it.
right.
No, the big thing I would say is if people understood who he was when he was a 1.6 player, where he was actually the best player, well, here's the thing. He's actually a player who never seemed to take the praise to heart.
Right.
So I feel like actually he's always been a very grounded individual. Yes. So that's actually serving him very well now because, yes, obviously, this is exactly the kind of climate in which people who already are on the way down, I mean, a famous example would be Smiths, obviously, in G2 a couple of years ago. They're already at rock bottom. And then if people seemingly are giving them what they're calling hate, you know, too much criticism, yes, that can be when they just mentally break and they tend to retire, quit, whatever, you know, might be to kind of get the heat off them. Yeah. So I think he's well served in that sense to go through it. And plus I know from what's happened in CSGO, that him and Taz already had that mentality of like, it doesn't matter actually if we are considered the stars anymore, if we can win in the game. Right. So actually, this is one of those scenarios where winning will take care of everything. It won't matter what his stats are if they win this tournament.
Okay. Time to move on. Our second semi-final not too far away, of course, and Na'Vi are looking to reach yet another grand final just a couple of weeks after already doing it once before. They have the world's best player. They're in great form. So in theory, MV have a massive wall to climb, and we'll see whether they can get over it after the break.
Thank you guys for coming to this interview. And I guess the first question that we'd like to ask is, how's your team's form as of late?
As you can obviously see, we've been struggling pretty much recently. But we've been working really hard on that. I mean, to fix the problems we're going through, and yeah, we're getting better.
We just stop selling matches, and everything gonna be okay.
The theme of this tournament is called the Battle of Legends, and in this case, you guys are both legendary players. And what's it like coming over to Shanghai again to play here?
I can say like not in tournament, but like organizers. The tournament, like a hotel, and the condition in this event is like almost perfect. Everything is good. Like for the players, the hotel rooms, like food. For me, gym is in the top level. This is what I like, and for sure I come back here, you know, every time when you call me.
So do you guys have any like pre-game rituals that you would use to prep you into the perfect condition for a match?
For me, I don't think so. I'm trying to avoid all the rituals because once you don't do one of them, you can get crazy in the head.
If I play good, I try to don't change my underpants. Yeah, this ritual.
It's a lucky underpants.
Yeah.
And I guess on the topic of food and drinks, are there any Chinese food that you guys like in particular?
For me, I like dumplings. Yeah, a lot of dumplings. Like with meat, like, you know, every kind of dumpling. But I hate the black eggs.
Yeah, in Poland the dumplings are also very popular.
We have to ask you guys to try and say something in Chinese. So the phrase is going to be 大家好,我是, and then ID, and then after that it's 你准备好了吗?
大家好,我是 Philip. 你准备好了吗?
大家好,我是 El Papito. 你准备好了吗?
Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you, man.
And best of luck.